All you ever wanna do is play. So let's play.
Yeah. Hey, we stay woke, but y'all sleep. Real mode, but y'all sheep. Out in public, she a good girl, but at the crib, she a real freak. New throne for the new king. Same kid, now my streets go. Same gang, got the cheat code. I said stay woke, we in real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode.
I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke,
yeah,
real mode.
well, we can hold the peace or we can wage war, but I'm gonna get what I came for. Real gang, that's a true name. We all graduated to the two-door. Sega Global, that's an infrastructure. All y'all niggas like the Titanic. I'm the iceberg, talking no Zucker on the front lines, but we don't panic. Shit getting messy, got nothing to rest in. I'm tired of niggas, they frontin' they blessings. They want my suggestion, but don't want the fee. I'm just doing me, I don't answer their questions. All this flexing, got no one to see. All this aggression, I just want some peace. Not even sure that I like it in heaven. I guess when we get there, then we gon' see. I do not understand, I do not get what you do. You only got one life, but you act like you got two. Yo, we go bigger than what you are willing to do. I run with kings, but you peasants, you run with the goons. Hey, we stay woke, but y'all sleep. Real mode, but y'all sheep. Out in public, she a good girl, but at the crib, she a real freak. New throne for the new king. Same kid, now my streets go. Same gang, got the cheat code. I said stay woke, we in real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode.
I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode.
Hey, y'all some jokers, y'all a bunch of clowns. You will not get a laugh out of me. You can talk, but you can't denounce. I live a different theology. Why I transferred to a new account? You just fucked over a prodigy. Posted up with a rented crown.
You are the king and apology.
You about to see a new side of me. I hope you know. We stand up and watch our enemy go. Empires fall, my legacy grows. I might just hop on this melody flow. All this vision, no clarity though. Y'all play a game that I bear in my soul. Ebony ivory, nobody knows. Business vasectomy, nothing can grow. Everyone promises more than they actually do. We don't deliver on anything other than truth. Yo, we go bigger than what you are willing to do. I run with kings, but you peasants, you run with the goons. Hey, we stay woke, but y'all sleep. Real mode, but y'all sheep. Out in public, she a good girl, but at the crib, she a real freak. New throne for the new king. Same kid, now my streets go. Same gang, got the cheat code. I said stay woke, we in real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode.
I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. I said stay woke, real mode. Stay woke, real mode. You really have people fooled out here, don't you? When are you peasants gonna learn that you can't pretend to be a king? It ends today.
You're insane, gold member!
It's been a while since I dropped this shit. Swole fam, y'all better run this up. KD, let's go. Yeah. Aye, East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, Global with that gang gang, you know we don't play gang, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, Global with that gang gang, you know we don't play gang, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, Global with that gang gang, you know we don't play gang, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, Global with that gang gang, yeah. You know we don't play gang. I'm blessed, I never said I didn't struggle. I finesse, I never said I didn't hustle. These niggas talk so loud, the way I move is subtle. I'm the ocean, but these niggas just a puddle. Ay, oh, I swear I'm delusional. These niggas ain't using me. They want my energy, ain't nothing new, this is usual. These figures confusing me. What's gotten into me? They say I'm using their cubicles. Clipping KD like some cuticles. None of this shit is excusable. Don't need a muse when I'm musical. Ay, whoa, I'm tired of saying for truth when nobody's doing it. Yeah. They're controlling the youth. Agenda of fusing them, nigga. We losing them. Matter of fact, we just abusing them. That's a fact. We try to roll with a ballad act. Fucking low key with a tesseract. They throwing smoke when they got that. Get the fuck up out your little bubble. They wanna ask how much it costs, I said it double. Gorilla beer, these niggas only rockin' stubble. The realest nigga make these bitches start to stumble. Aye, East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, you know we don't play guys, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, you know we don't play guys, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, you know we don't play guys, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, you know we don't play guys, yeah.
Let's see what we got here. Oh, Jesus Christ. Let's do it again. Look at the jiggle. Jigga, 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 jigga. Oh, jigga, 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 jigga. I like that.
FBI, open up!
What the hell just happened?
Shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing, 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 testicles, testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 19 hundo and 60 dose of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gamecast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustlers, and your hoes? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode, and today's episode of the Beastcast is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everest and K2 Flexing. On all you beaches. All right. What's going on? Apologies for that intro. Sorry, not sorry. You deserve it. You just got some fat gut just slapped right on yo countertop. If it's your first time, drop some cherries in the comments down below. You could drop your questions. Reminder that all the information can be found in the description and the show notes down below to join the Swole fam today over at swolenormousx.com, because fam-wise, we have our weekly accountability meeting tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time. It might even be a little bit earlier than that, but just stay tuned. I'll Swole text you. We are going to drop it like it's hot tomorrow for the accountability meeting. Got some awesome releases, some new announcements. So tomorrow's episode will be private. So make sure that you join the Swole fam today over at swolenormousx.com. And of course, big shout out to those of you that are leaving a review on Apple Podcasts. Make sure you do so. 5 stars, write a review, especially if you're listening on your iPhone. That way we can share the knowledge cock. We can get that out there. We can just spread the Swole variant, which we'll get into in just a second. It is the Sunday Fun Day, Red, White, and Swole Q&Anus. We're going to have some fun today. Just pure questions today. We'll bust this nut open in just a moment, and then we will start taking questions, so you can drop them in the comments down below, starting right now with the hashtag AskPapaSwolio. That being said, let's summon the Falcon and get this party started. A Falcon. Well done. Put some respect on it, fam. America Beach.
there, Sunday. Greatest country in the world.
Now, usually we go red, white, and swole for the card today, but we had to go full-blown swole variant. Leo drinking like a raging alcoholic. Cheers, Leo. At least he's consistent, fam. At least he's consistent. Yeah, you could have chose a little bit better. Your choice of women, not so much. Not so much. Maybe choose one that doesn't let go or lets you, attempt to get on the door more than once. All right, fam. Hashtag swole variant for a chance to win today's swole card. You want to get infected. You want to be a super spreader. You want to be a swole spreader. Yeah, swole spreader. Spread those sick fucking gains. Drop that in the comments down below. Hashtag swole variant. We'll give that card away at the end of today's episode. And of course, today's format is unique to the Sunday Fun Day, the Red, White, and Swole Sunday Fun Day Q&Anus, because we'll just take tons of questions. So drop your comments, your questions. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. Let us get into the first schwams. We got some from the interwebs. We got some from a couple different places, but a couple announcements while you start dropping yours down below. Harry Potter is fatphobic. We got a new clip. Available. We got to boo it. We got to boo the clip. This is available on the Swolenormous channel on YouTube. Harry Potter is fatphobic. That's fucking bullshit. I think we all know where that goes. Kind of fucking bullshit. Totally fucking bullshit. Also, we have new episodes this past week on the Red, White, and Swole podcast. Make sure you check that out. Of course, you're here because fucking America, baby. That's why you's here. Because America, beaches. Make sure you check out the Red, White, and Swole videos on the Papa Swolio channel. And of course, you can listen on your favorite podcast app, Red, White, and Swole, for some more content about America. And for those of you that really want to get infected, head on over to papaswolio.com for all the Swolenormous apparel. It's fucking lit. Of course, you can get all the classics. You get all your Swolenormous gear, hats, crop tops, hoodies. We got crop top hoodies. We got all the stuff over there. Winter hats. Winter is coming, so make sure you get your warmer gear. We got Swole Privilege. We got Papa Swolio for fucking President 2024, Guns, Bacon, and Freedom. We got Tess gear. Tess Hornaday, we got the little sexy beast in the corner there. We also have Fitness Falcon gear. We have Taint Length Matters gear. We have Go to the Fucking Gym apparel, all that. But even most importantly, the brand new epic launch of the Swole variant. So use code DAILYSWOLE for 10% off because you are a listener to the show. Again, all one word, DAILYSWOLE for 10% off. Yeah, harder. And we got some questions. All right, let's take the first one from Instagram today. You can drop in the comments.
What's in the box?
Down below. This one's from Manuel 23. Manuel V 23. Your 5 favorite sources of protein. I like beef. I like steak. That's 2. I would say my 5 favorite sources of protein. I would say ribeye, New York strip, bacon, fat and protein. I like eggs. I do like eggs. I'm just kind of trolling a little bit. Pretty much it. Just beef and eggs for the most part. Those are my 5 favorite sources of protein. Aside from that, maybe chicken on occasion, but not often. Maybe once every couple weeks or so. But that's really my favorite sources. Grass-fed beef is my favorite, period. End of story. I don't need 5. I got the delicious 1 or 2. So eggs, beef. Aside from that, I don't know. What else do I get for protein? Sometimes some fish from sushi or something like that. But that's about it. That's about it for my protein sources. You can drop your thoughts in the comments down below what you go after. But of course, the standard, I would say most people should be organ meats. My liver, that's protein too. Beef, eggs. You can go fish, chicken. There's really, what else besides that? I guess pork. But, the cleaner, you want to generally stay away from monogastric animals for the most part, but grass-fed beef, wild game, and those types of things are great. Wild fish can be beneficial, but of course, toxins and pollutants in the oceans are just very, very hard to get quality fish, but some of you might have access to it, which could be a benefit. So your thoughts, you could drop in the comments down below. Maybe we got some soy. Maybe we got some soy boys in the comments here. No soy. All right, we got first question from the live stream, the Alabastard. Papa Swolio, the benches in the fitness center of my new complex are for someone much taller. Doing prone shoulder presses on them is super uncomfortable. Any alternative suggestions? I couldn't really tell you because I don't know how you're doing them on them. Prone shoulder presses. I'm not sure how that would be super uncomfortable. You could just adjust it, maybe get something you put your feet on. I don't know how it's uncomfortable, so I'm sure there's a way you can modify it on the bench. Otherwise, you could do it with a band, right? Band from the front position, pushing up. You can activate your middle and lower traps that way in your posterior rotator cuff. So I don't see how that would be uncomfortable. You could just kneel on the bench on an angle and then move your body upwards. I'm not sure what is uncomfortable about it. I have a feeling you could just modify that simply. If maybe just think you can't modify it because you're supposed to keep your feet on the ground or something like that, which is not necessary. You could just kneel on the bench. I'd have to know and see what is uncomfortable about it, because you could use different size benches. Rob Thomas, what was your most stubborn body part to grow? My calves. Very common because it's a high rep muscle group, slow twitch muscle fibers, and most people don't have good balance in their lower body in terms of ankle mobility. They don't do full range of motion. They don't hit them properly. So that was for a long time until I cracked the code. And yeah. So usually those higher twitch, and a lot of people say forearms and stuff like that. But for me, that was just, I guess, stubborn to grow was that one. But no longer. I have good balance all over my body, and I'm really happy with. I don't think there's really any lagging body part. I'm not trying to be as big as, as massive as humanly possible, but I don't find any area that's lagging to the point of like, oh, this just won't grow. So I've kind of closed the window on that. But that's very common. That's very common. A lot of people say they're super stubborn. They just can't get their calves to grow. I think they can. They just don't really understand ankle mobility and how to fully contract the fibers and to really get in there. It's genetics. A lot of times it can be. Doesn't mean you can't crack that code. Just a lot of people haven't yet. Derek, should I break up with my girl? All right. Papa Swolio, should I break up with my girlfriend if I don't find her attractive anymore since I started working out and getting healthy? You're answering your own question. If you don't find your girlfriend attractive, is it physically attractive or is it just emotionally because she doesn't respect herself, so you're losing respect for her? Yeah. Have you had this conversation with her? How long have you been with this person? If you're asking me, what have you had? What conversations have you had with this person, with this individual? If you don't find your girlfriend attractive, then that's your answer right there. You should find your partner attractive. It's very important. But it's very common to have a relationship go south, especially when you find fitness and you find your passion and you understand what eating real food and a certain lifestyle and how that can benefit you. And when the other person doesn't want to get on board with that, it's just very fundamental. It's a very fundamental rift that, in my opinion, can't be bridged. You have to really be cognitive dissonant. You have to really deny your own reality to stay with someone that doesn't take care of their health. If you really truly believe in taking care of your body and live a certain lifestyle, if your partner's eating crap, you kind of have to go into some sort of denial to stay with them. And some people do that because they've been married for a long time, but that's hard. That's hard because it's a very fundamental, like, moral rift in taking care of your body. That's very ground level. So it's really hard to be with someone that doesn't take care of themselves. Once you get swole pilled, it's very hard to be with someone that doesn't. Tyler, what degree angle should my arms or elbows be for the bench press? Noticing they go outwards. Last time I benched was 4 months ago and never went back. They go outwards? What do you mean, bro? Every time you ask a question, it's always like confusing. I don't know why. They slightly in. Find what works best for you. Find what's comfortable. Shouldn't be 90 degrees, just slightly tucked in, and you can adjust accordingly. Adjust your grip and adjust your elbow position accordingly to where you feel best for your chest activation. You have to figure out what feels best for you. But definitely don't want to go 90 degrees. Puts a lot of pressure on your shoulders, if that's what you're asking. Packing, depressing your shoulder blades. Tyler, Papa Swolio, sorry for the long question, but had to get in depth. You talk about the differences between bulking and cutting, but in regards to weight loss or fat loss, what do you recommend? I eat grass-fed steaks, grass-fed butter, sweet potatoes, white rice, chicken, shrimp, exercise every day, lift heavy. I'm not sure what your question is. Sounds like you're doing it right. In regards to weight loss or fat loss, huge difference. Fat loss is one thing. Weight loss just means you're stepping on a scale. The scale is kind of bullshit if you're just stepping on a scale. If you're doing body composition and you're doing visual and circumferential measurements and you're doing before and after pictures accurately, or doing skin fold caliper measurements, most people don't do them properly or can't do them well themselves. Most trainers don't know how to do them properly. They're not accurate. So it's about fat loss. It's about eating enough protein. You want to be getting 0.8 to a gram per pound of body weight as you're training heavy. Keep your carbs low and make sure you're focusing on those healthy fats, plenty of sleep, organ meats, getting all your micronutrients, training, just lift to build muscle, and adjust and fluctuate and play with the carbohydrates to what feels best for you. And you will metabolize fat over time. This is something that your body will tap into when you are at rest. So when you're sitting around watching TV, which you should keep very, very minimal anyway, just because of the blue light and the other negative stressors from just vegging out, watching TV, getting plenty of sunlight. These things are going to help you tremendously lose fat over time. So I'm not sure what your question actually is in regards to weight loss or fat loss. Like, you should be focusing on building muscle and eating quality foods. That's literally the game. You don't have to micromanage your shit. You don't have to sit there with a calculator and play that game. A lot of people just maybe get stuck with losing the amount of fat that they want because they're missing all the other important facets of their life. They're not sleeping well enough. They're not doing any kind of like hot or cold therapy. They're not, removing other endocrine disruptors and chemicals from their life with like shampoos, conditioners, body lotions, household cleaners. There's a lot of other things that can negatively affect your wellness, that can make it harder to get rid of extra body fat. Let's see here. Yeah, Matthew, that's what I was going to say. If she's watching the podcast, then you won't have to worry. You won't have to bother breaking up with her. She already knows. Does she watch if she watches the Daily Swole, then she's a keeper. So I'm just saying. Matt the Great, Papa Swolio, I finally took responsibility for my health almost a year ago after catching the, quote, virus. I cut out all crap and went strict carnivore, lost 100 pounds, 340 pounds to 240, lifting 3 to 4 times a week. Get swole. Good for you. Matt the Great. No longer Matt the Fat. Well, 240. You're on your way. Good for you, dude. That's fucking awesome. You see, you can take one of two directions. You can be like, oh, the virus, let me hide inside and just get fat because it's a stressful time. My body deserves it. Or you can use that as a wake-up call. I am not healthy. My body is not where it should be. And then you take control of your health. And Matt has done that. So good for you. Good for you. All right, let's see here. Bum, 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 bum. All right, let's take another question from Instagram. You keep on dropping them down below. Hashtag AskPapaSwolio. And remember, we have an accountability meeting tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern time. It might be a little bit early. It might be like 11:30, but I'll text you and let you know. We're going to start probably slowly moving the accountability meetings earlier in the morning. But just make sure that you are plugged in. Remember, you can catch the replay inside Swole TV if you can't make it live, but make sure that you are ready for that Swole text because we got some big announcements. I'm excited. So all members, make sure you're listening in. This is going to have to do with unlimited members, Swole fan members, big stuff coming. So make sure you're ready for tomorrow's accountability meeting. You don't want to miss out on episode 1963. It's the fucking tits. This one's from Monday.302 on Instagram, Papa Swolio. Does the being sore ever stop? It shouldn't, really. Being sore is micro trauma. You're breaking down the muscle tissue in your body is repairing. So you have a hard workout, you're going to get sore. My legs were really sore from my workout a couple days ago. I've been lifting for 20 plus years. So yeah, it doesn't really stop. You just get used to it. And it's a good thing. That means that you're overloading your body. Now, if you're getting too sore, if you're getting really crippled, then you just overload your body too much, or you're not sleeping and recovering properly. You're not eating properly. There's other things that you might be lacking in terms of electrolyte balance and things that might lead you to not being able to repair as efficiently, or you're training too frequently a certain body part without enough rest in between. So you should be sore. In my opinion, you never stop being sore. If you're overloading and you're doing progressive overload, that's what it means, progressive overload. That means you're overloading the muscles. Now, if you're into the point where you can't stand up, and most people have trained that way, where you're training really heavy and you can barely sit down on the toilet, honestly, that's probably not, I've used to train that way. That's probably not a good idea. That's probably too much trauma. And my opinion now is because if you train legs, let's say so fucking hard, let's say you train legs so fucking hard that you can't sit down properly. You could barely walk. You could barely move. That's going to negatively affect all your other workouts. How are you going to do back? How are you going to walk around carrying the weights? How are you going to do, like, let's say a bent over row in a day or two if you can barely bend your knees? So that's not good. And that's going to lock up the rest of your body. That's going to negatively affect your dynamic movement, just your total body movement. So that can lead to other issues down the road with other workouts. So I don't like being inhibited for other workouts. I don't want to be so sore I can't move, because that's going to negatively affect maybe upper body workouts that do have something to do with lower body. For example, what if I want to do some kettlebell work for my upper body, but my legs are so fucking sore I just can't get into those positions properly? It can be a negative. So overloading your body enough, but soreness is good, just to the point where you're crippled. Not necessary to be crippled. Hashtag Swole variant for a chance to win today's Swole card. Drop that in the comments down below. You sexy beesh. Papa Swolio, Tyler, since fall is arriving soon, any teasers for any designs? Yeah, we've talked about it already. No teasers, not going to tell you anything. We have a ton of new designs and shit that you all haven't even comprehended or conceived of yet. Absolutely epic. And a couple of these ideas have been on the back burner for a couple years. So super excited. Major shit coming. Major shit coming. All right. Rebecca, what's the calorie count of societal oppression?
Matt Damon.
It's way too much. It's like extreme caloric overload. Yeah. I guess the idea of it is completely, it's like, it's just like empty calories. It's fucking empty, nonsensical bullshit. Good troll. I like it. Good troll. Good troll. All right, drop that hashtag. Remember, hashtag Ask Papa Swolio for your question to be featured, just because it's easier for me to catch up on those questions so I can see it. So make sure you use that hashtag. That way I can see it. Are you just asking on every single platform? Just once is fine. You don't have to ask on YouTube and Facebook. I appreciate though. How can I get back on track training? Okay, hold on. How can I get back on track training Monday through Saturday if I'm feeling exhausted every single day? What's the best way to get in the swing of things after chronic fatigue? You got to figure out why you have chronic fatigue. What's track training? You mean running, or you mean like cycling on a track? You shouldn't have chronic fatigue. You have to get to the root of why you have chronic fatigue. Could be nutritionally, could be other issue, could be something medical, could be any number of things. You're not recovering properly. You're not designing your programming properly. If you're chronically fatigued and chronically exhausted, that's not good. Getting back on track, I suffer from Hashimoto's. Yeah, see, okay, so one, I'm not a medical doctor, but I would look into doing more of an extreme elimination diet. Again, talk with your doctor, X, Y, and Z, but looking into cutting out a lot of inflammatory foods, even going something along the lines of full carnivore could be very beneficial for you. And many people with autoimmune issues will benefit tremendously from an animal-based diet and going grass-fed beef, beef tallow, organ meats, all those types of things. There's a lot of amazing content out there and is extremely promising for people that are suffering from all sorts of those autoimmune issues. So, I mean, because a lot of these foods that cause, for example, leaky gut, your immune system and your gut-brain axis, your gut-lung axis, your digestive system, and your small intestines play a huge role in your immunity, in your immune response. So what leaky gut means, if you're having intestinal inflammation, the junctions between the cells, the membrane of the small intestine actually swell. You have actual inflammation, and then you have larger gaps, which is literally leaking into the rest of the body. So then your body, your cells actually attack these food sources or these larger particles that are getting through the junction, the small intestine. So you actually have this autoimmune response where your body's actually attacking what you're consuming and attacking issues inside your body. It shouldn't be there. It should be in your intestine. So if you're eating better foods, you're drinking bone broth, you're getting in your grass-fed beef fats, you're not eating a ton of these toxic plant foods or garbage, junk, poisonous crap like sugar, especially if it's isolated in fruit juice and just processed sugar, additives, candy, garbage, grains, nuts, seeds, especially the nuts and seed oils. All these things can easily cause and commonly cause leaky gut and can lead to a lot of autoimmune issues. A lot of that comes down to diet, proper sleep, and all these different things. Caden, Papa Swolio, what do you know of workout headaches? I began getting them when my heart rate was up and I probably was not having the best posture and too heavy of weights. How long should I recover? I think it depends on why you have those headaches. Are you breathing properly? Are you getting enough electrolytes? Are you sleeping well? It could be a nutrient deficiency, could be an electrolyte deficiency. Some people that are holding their breath are not breathing properly, breathing in and out through your nose, not mouth breathing. Also, you're welcome. Getting back to that, I would do a search because Paul Saladino has a ton of great podcasts as a result of grass-fed beef and cholesterol or all these autoimmune issues. I would do a search and type in fundamental health podcast and then type in Hashimoto's. I can't remember what episode. I'm sure it was covered in one podcast, but you can look that up. Look up carnivore, look up grass-fed beef and Hashimoto's and elimination diet. Look into that because a lot of that's going to come down to managing through your nutrition as well. That's what I recommend as well, also there for more technical breakdowns and more specific from actual medical doctors and people that are in that field that target those types of concerns specifically. Let's see. Joey Bag of Donuts. Papa Swolio, do you think it's necessary to count protein? I do OMAD, which is 1 meal a day, and feel great and eat a whole food grass-fed meat diet, but I don't believe I'm hitting 1 gram per lean body weight. So to count protein, I think you should be aware. So I'm not saying that calorie count doesn't matter, but you need to make sure you're getting in enough protein. So you might want to do something like a grass-fed whey protein isolate. Of course, there is some processing there, so you have to find something that works for you. If you get 100% grass-fed, grass-finished, and an isolate protein, that's less likely to impact your gut and to make you feel like shit or have any kind of side effects or issues or gut problems. I remember I tried a grass-fed whey protein concentrate, and it fucked me up. It just destroyed my stomach. So isolate is very important. You might want to do 2 meals a day. You might want to do 2 meals, maybe do a 4-hour eating window. So 1 meal a day is pretty arbitrary. I personally don't do 1 meal a day. I like to do 1 or 2 meals and spread that out because you can get in more food throughout the day, which is very important. So I would recommend splitting that up and doing like a 4-hour eating window at least. That way you're eating, let's say at 2, and then you can wait a couple hours and do 6 p.m. That's pretty much the same as 1 meal a day. It's just think of it as like a long meal and allows you to get in more protein over those couple hours rather than at one sitting because you can only eat so much at one time, especially if it's nutrient dense food. And as we're trying to bulk up, so remember the human body, we've evolved to build muscle and to maintain muscle tissue, but not necessarily bulk and just get yoked because food on an evolutionary level wasn't ubiquitous. It wasn't just so easy just to get endless amounts of food. You had to go hunt and you had to expend a lot of calories to kill an animal and then to eat it. And you didn't have refrigeration. You didn't have all these other methods. Yeah, you can smoke things and make jerky and all that kind of thing. But that had to evolve with people figuring that kind of stuff out before you just like eat and then that was that. So you're expending a lot of calories to get those foods. Now we have a whole different situation with our ability or our choice to, hey, because I'm choosing to, because I'm lifting a certain way and putting my body in an environment, because you didn't used to lift thousands and thousands of years ago. You would do physical activity, all different types of movement, full body, climbing trees, building things, moving. You wouldn't be sitting there just like curling, 5 sets of 10 reps, focus attention on the biceps. You wouldn't want to do that because you wouldn't want to be sore in nature. You would want to be functional. So today we have to create that artificial resistance because we don't have that kind of physical activity naturally in our world. Everything's pretty much automated, machines, technology, cars. You don't have to walk anywhere anymore. You just drive. You don't even have to walk upstairs if you don't want to. Just take an elevator. So there's a lot of ease in our life. So creating that kind of focused attention on our muscles, we have the ability to have the surplus to build muscle. So think about it. One meal a day is very good. You eat, you're full, and then you're just not hungry. That's how our body has evolved, not to overeat and overstuff to get sick, because it just wasn't like that. It wasn't available. So spreading out more often. That's why pro bodybuilders or people that are really trying to aggressively put on size without putting on like tons of extra body fat, you spread it out over multiple meals because it's really hard to get in enough protein and get in enough total caloric intake in one meal. Do I use a heated blanket, Tyler? No, absolutely not. I actually have like a bed cooler and stuff, and the room is like an ice box. So definitely not a heated blanket. A weighted blanket, yes. It's like 15 or 20 pounds, but not a heated blanket. Matthew, Papa Swolio, at any time over the years, have you experimented with German volume training, 10 by 10? Any opinion on it? I've never really looked into that. I've heard the term German volume training, but I really don't know the details. So, I mean, I do volume, but maybe I probably haven't done, technically, I have to look into it. So 10 by 10, is that just what, 10 sets or 10 sets of 10 exercises or 10 reps, 10 sets, 10 reps? I mean, it sounds like a normal workout kind of thing. Is it one exercise, a multiple exercises? Volume is good. Volume is good. That's how you get that kind of overload, right? You add another set. So you add another set, you add another set, you do a little bit more volume. This is why bodybuilders or people that have a lot of muscle mass, they generally don't do full body workouts. They generally start doing splits, whether it's chest and back or chest and triceps, chest and biceps, or just chest by itself. That's why those classic bro splits, they're not stupid bro splits. They're just isolated workouts that allow you to take, instead of an hour or two on a total body, you're doing an hour or so on one body part. You can overload the fuck out of that, because if you're focusing all your attention on one or two body parts or one area of the body, you can do a lot more volume for that body part and then create that kind of overload necessary to build muscle over time. It depends on if you're taking anabolics, depends on how frequently you're training or how much volume. You can train certain body parts more days per week, but then you have to do less volume per day. And in my opinion, it's more effective to do a body part for natural lifters twice a week, maybe adjust what the stress is like. We do one day that's more mobility or more higher repetition. The other day you could do more heavy, but it's all about that progressive overload and increasing the volume over time. That's why people do splits like that. Retro Dolly, Papa Swolio. Hey, Papa Swolio, didn't know if you had any advice on strengthening your status anterior, you mean serratus anterior, and trapezius muscle, which have been damaged due to repetitive injury causing scapular winging. Yeah, serratus anterior, a great easy way to do it is to get on your in push-up position and just do protractions. So do like a high plank and then just pop forward and then slowly allow retraction. Push and then slowly. You can do it on dip bars too, but push up, arms forward, let your shoulders drop, keep your shoulder blades down, and then push forward. And that's really good. So scapular winging is when the medial portion of your scapula is kind of popping out, and the serratus anterior inserts and pulls on the anterior portion of the medial aspect of the scapula. So strengthening the serratus anterior, that's like the little fingers that look like on the front of on your ribs. And that will pull that medial portion of the scapula forward and keep it more pinned to the scapulothoracic joint, so it'll keep the scapula more compact to the spine. So the trapezius muscle won't really, middle and lower trapezius, doing floor cobras, practicing yoga would be very important. I would recommend yoga if you're not practicing yoga at all, but doing those isolated, like you could do them on your back with like light weights and just push forward. It's the same thing on your back if you're holding dumbbells, but doing it on the ground from a push-up standpoint would be great. Just do protraction and retraction and do a real slow retraction, get that negative. Rob Thomas, have you seen Alan Roberts lately, more specifically his weight loss? I haven't. I haven't seen any of his content. I don't watch anyone's content really, especially on YouTube. I just don't. I don't look. I think I did see like a picture or a cover, and he looked good. I guess he's been cutting. I saw something, some post, I forget. I went to look at something on YouTube, and it said something about like a TRX workout or some shit. I don't know. We have a couple channels, so most of the time I'm on, like, personally, I'm on TikTok. You know, we post stuff on the Daily Swole channel and the Swolenormous channel. I have like 5 or 6 channels and like a couple private ones that I watch content on, or listen to like certain podcasts that are only on YouTube or things like that. But it seems like he's lost weight, and it look good from my standpoint. I think it was a picture recently. It's funny that you mentioned that, because I had literally just seen like some kind of image. I think it was like a community post or something on TikTok. Non-fitness related question, but was always curious about this. Thoughts on Mind Pump Media? I'm not familiar. Sounds familiar, but I do not know his or their content enough to answer that question. Got some weird questions coming out. Tyler, interesting history question. What would you change about the Roman times, and how times were then and how now is all different? That's not even a question, bro. I have no idea what you're asking. What would I change about the Roman times? What would I change? Nothing. And I ain't butterfly. I'm not butterfly affecting that. You change something about the Roman times and we're not here. So I have no idea what that means. Roman times?
Your father was a woman!
What the fuck was that, bro? All right. Elliot Penial on Shitstagram. Hey, mate, what's your training split? Just kind of talked about that. Actually, no. That was on a different post. My training split currently is chest, back, then I do legs, and then I do like shoulders and arms. And then I repeat. So I'm not taking days off. I'm doing a lot more strength mobility than, I might just be doing some stretching and mobility, some swolga and stuff in between other parts of the day. But my training split is essentially upper body, which is chest. And when you say chest and back, it's kind of arms too, but it's chest and back. So on a chest and back day, I'll do more dips. I'll do more presses. I'll do rows. I'll do heavier stuff, pull-ups, that kind of stuff. And then on the arm day, I'll do more just curls, shoulder work, that type of stuff. Maybe some pull-ups and dips if I feel like it, but more focused on biceps, triceps, deltoids. And usually when I cycle back through, so I do, like, let's say chest and back, legs, arms, and then the next day will be legs. So it's like, oh shit, like legs every other day. But one of those leg days will be a heavy leg day. Sometimes I might take a day off from strength training and just do mobility, but that leg day isn't necessarily more squats and more heavy. So one leg day will be at least 1 in every 2 or 1 every 3 leg days will be like heavy squats or walking lunges, something that's a compound movement that's like fucking heavy, heavy RDLs. The other one will be more Jefferson curls, maybe deep lunges. It'll be more maybe some sled pulls, like lateral or reverse sled pulls. It'll be sissy squats, or it'll be more of a mobility day, maybe more higher repetition, not so much like a heavy compound movement per se. All right, let's see. Justino Sal. Justino P. Sal. Justinop Sal. Justin Opsal. Justin Opsal. I get sugar-free uncured bacon, and I've been saving the grease to use it and using it to cook. Is it healthy fat? It's good. It depends on if you're getting like heritage pork, like pastured bacon. I would prefer, or I'd recommend using beef tallow. I think just because linoleic and omega-6 content of pigs, because they're monogastric, is more elevated than something that's, multi-gastric, like a cow or some wild game in some respects, like ruminant animals. So Is it healthy fat to use? It's better than using canola, olive oil, and things like that to cook, in my opinion. But personally, I use beef tallow, and I would recommend you look into it and try that because it's fucking fantastic. And there's a higher, if you cook with bacon, like if it depends on what temperature, a lot of times that can burn really easily. And I think that's also a component of the composition, but a better fat profile, in my experience and opinion, with beef tallow. I prefer to use beef tallow. So personally, WS Fitness 1, Papa Swole, how do I get big ass bicep peaks? You want big ass? You have ass biceps? It depends on how you're asking this question. How do I get big ass bicep peaks? So if you have a big ass bicep, like if you have an ass bicep, that's a question. Or a big ass bicep peak. I would recommend doing things like concentration curls. Preacher curls are great. Doing slight incline curls, keeping tension using bands. Like I was showing you all with like the lever curls are fantastic, but definitely keeping tension on the bicep as much as possible. So that's what I would recommend. You can get really cool angles with cables and with bands, but from my experience, to get really big bicep peaks, one, incline curls are fantastic. Slight incline, like 75, 80 degrees, and also doing things like concentration curls, really holding that squeeze, as well as you can also do spider curls or like, high cable, but spider curls are cool where you're leaning forward, really focusing on different max points of tension with the bicep, with the muscle, as well as preacher curl, concentration curls. Those are all good options. And working different areas of the bicep, doing your hammer curls or doing reverse curls and things like that are also important for the thickness. So a lot of people think, hey, I want big arms, I want big biceps. You really want big triceps because when you get that short head of the triceps on the side, you'll get that real thickness plus the brachialis. You definitely want to hit that with reverse curls and with and the brachioradialis with hammer curls because that really fills out the thickness of your arms. And everyone's different with that peak. The peak is tough. Some people there's a lot of genetics there too, because it's all muscle insertions. Darth, for me, I prefer coconut oil over tallow. Have to say it, big miss, dude. You definitely, the fat profile of tallow is bar none. I would highly recommend, especially maybe some recipes, but I would definitely, from a nutritional standpoint, I would go tallow every day of the week. I don't know if that was like a preference or you mean just for taste, but especially if you're cooking steaks and stuff. Oof. But some recipes. Hands down, baby. Come on now. Get you that tallow, son. It's all right. It's a decent option, but tallow is superior. Jesse Y, I wish I had taken your advice sooner on yoga. My body has never felt this good. My posture has gotten so much better. Nice, Jesse. Good for you. Good for you. Fantastic. Good for you. Do I put my steak in the oven after you cook it thoroughly? No. Cast iron pan. I flip it frequently and then take it off for like a minute or two and then I put it back on a little bit more. Boom. Not burning it. It's fucking perfect. Coconut oil with eggs? I do either grass-fed butter or tallow with eggs is good too. Yeah. Look, I go for the health and the value, and then my taste buds adapt. I just love tallow. I fucking love it. I love it so much. Good questions, fam, so far. Take a couple more. Let's see. Ivan Davila 5, is box squat good while I recover from knee pain? I would not do that for knee pain because that's not going to help you with your range of motion. I would definitely recommend looking into mobilizing your ankles and your hips. So standing, you can do sitting, but standing hip flexor work to strengthen your hip flexors. You can get a monkey foot or you can get an ankle weight or hold a dumbbell on the front of your thigh and do like bringing your knee up towards your chest. Like you're marching, doing 15, 20 reps of, some activating your hip flexors. Also anterior tibialis work. You can do this leaning against a wall. You can get a tib blaster. Toe raises, you can do a couple different ways, but just leaning back against the wall with your feet in front of you, lifting your toes up and down like a reverse calf raise is fantastic. and also doing glute ham. You could do it lying down with a roller or with slider pads or like a paper plate if you don't have any equipment. Or you can do, like I said, with a monkey foot and ankle weight, doing standing leg curls are great to get the full range of motion from your hip flexors and also from your hamstrings while mobilizing your ankle. And then you can start working into some step downs for your patellar tendon. You can, and these have to be modified, and working on some strengthening your knees and mobilizing your knees rather than just like, I don't know how you're recovering from knee pain. So just waiting for the pain to go away and then going back to your normal methodology will just increase the issues there. So it's very important to build up that mobility and the strength and the tendons and ligaments properly for strengthening your knees. And this goes with this is what mobility is, strengthening through a full range of motion. A lot of people are just doing yoga or just stretching. You actually want to go light weights with many movements and go through a full range of motion. Things like Jefferson curls allow you to go through a full range of motion with a fraction of your of the weight they would use maybe on a standard RDL, but you are maximizing the stretch in the muscles under tension, which will drastically mitigate injury, will increase your strength. The full range of motion is fantastic. So these are all very important to improve your knee integrity. Derek, how do you like your steaks? Rare, medium rare, well? I like my steaks to have an active Instagram account. I like them rare. I like them rare, for sure. Do I always nail the? I mean, you know, I like them. I like them rare. I like them pink, red, for sure. Bloody. Yeah, don't overcook. Don't damage your meat. Rob Thomas, would you ever make a Canadian Swole member type shirt or tank for your badass Canadian viewers? We'll think about it. I don't know. I don't know. Move to a better country. How about that? Move to a better country. All right, come on, I have to. It's America. Yeah! Red, white, and swole Q&As. You're going to talk about Canada? Come on, man. Come on, man. The last bastion of freedom in the United States. Why would you? Why wouldn't you? Maybe. But then people are going to be like, well, how come this country? How come not this country? Why can't we get gear for this country? Maybe I'll think about it. We'll see. Lisa, oh my God, what's up with all you people cooking eggs in coconut oil? Yeah, what's up with you people? What's going on?
People? Huh? What do you mean, you people?
Eggs in coconut oil. All right, let's see here. This one's from Anton. And I said Anton because there's like 9 N's. Should a breakup fuel you to get better? I think this is not the issue at hand. I think you should be fueling yourself to get better, and then maybe you won't have a breakup. Because if you have to break up with someone to fuel yourself to get better, maybe you weren't maximizing yourself as an individual before you met that person. If you focus on yourself to find out who you truly are and what you truly are passionate about, and you're filling your own cup, then guess what? You don't sacrifice and you don't compromise when you're looking for a mate. Like, you'll find someone. And if you don't find someone, it's because no one has come within your realm that is worthy of your time and attention. You need to raise your standards, and you need to raise your standards by respecting yourself. So a lot of times people get in relationships with a shitty person, just going to say it straight up, because they don't respect themselves, or the person doesn't value themselves. And it's pretty much looking for their mirror in someone else as kind of like this, essentially like this subconscious, attraction, and the subconscious, I don't know, I would say like almost like a cry for help in some cases. But if you respect yourself and you're filling your own cup and you're taking care of yourself, you're not going to You're not going to compromise, or you're not going to settle for anything less than how you value yourself. And that doesn't mean you have an ego. That doesn't mean that you're overly cocky or that you look down on people. It just means that you have standards. And if you don't have standards for yourself, then you're not going to be with someone that represents that. Just some initial thoughts there off the top of my head, but that's how I see it. Mans Matson, what's your opinion on calisthenics? I think you mean like jumping jacks and stuff. I always like to know how people categorize calisthenics. You mean like pull-ups? Because I do pull-ups. I love weighted pull-ups and stuff. I do dips and things like that, but just running around, just doing pull-ups or just doing like jumping jacks and that kind of stuff, or jump rope and things of that sort. I mean, body weight exercise. I'll just translate this into body weight exercises. Body weight exercises are fantastic. You can use them perfectly for negatives. I think you should be able to move your body completely. You should be able to do a rope climb. You should be able to do pull-ups. You should be able to do dips. You should be able to do. I like those for weighted exercises. And I think as long as when people ask like, what are your opinions on cardio? Personally, I like short duration, higher intensity cardio like sprints or plyometric stuff, if anything. All these other types, or calisthenics, all these other types of activities are great, but the foundation of your programming should be strength training and should be mobility. And then after that, you can use these types of protocols as your seasoning. So it should be strength training, like a bodybuilding type program with mobility training, with yoga and also strength mobility. And then if you want to go for long walks on the beach, then go for long walks on the beach. Do you have to go running 5 miles a day or this? Absolutely not. I don't think that's actually ideal for your body and ideal for health, but some people love to do it. If you love to do all that type of cardio, a lot of people do cardio and think that's absolutely necessary to crush for your health, and they're just miserable doing it. It's really not necessary to be on a step mill or to go running for miles and miles and miles. If you truly enjoy it, then do it. But it's absolutely not necessary for body composition. It's not necessary for ideal heart health. I mean, you get cardio mimicking benefits from being in the sauna and cold therapy. And also you can do kettlebell work. You could do yoga. You could do short duration, high intensity sprinting, hill sprints. You could do sled work. You can do hammer work. You can do mace bell type stuff like we talk about. Like there's a lot of different methodologies to get cardiovascular benefits. You don't have to go running a marathon. And a lot of times that kind of repetitive movement can cause more problems, especially when combined with heavy resistance training, when your body's trying to recover and then you go pounding on it endlessly. It's just kind of pulling your adaptations in different directions and can cause complications. So some people, if you love running, if you love doing tons of cardio, if you love it more than anything, then that's what you love and you're going to do it anyway. And I'm not here to stop you. But a lot of people think that they have to be running miles and miles and miles and miles every week in order to get abs or to lose weight. And that's just not true. Lifting weights, lifting. All right. Matt Perez 949, Papa Soy, what fruits do you recommend? Well, in-season fruits are always great. I also do like frozen fruit because they're ripe and they're picked ripe for the most part, which I prefer. So if you're getting fruit from the supermarket that's sitting, whether it's apples or kiwis or mangoes or whatever it is, and you see them in your supermarket, first off, let's say you live in a northern climate and it's December and you're getting fruits, that's not natural for your environment, for where you live. Not to mention, these fruits have to be picked early from wherever they ship, whether they ship from Mexico or South America or Europe, wherever they're coming from. It doesn't really matter where they're coming from. They're coming from thousands and thousands of miles away, which means they have to be picked long before they're tree ripened or bush ripened or whatever it is. So they don't rot if they're picked when they're ripe, by the time they get to the store, they'll be rotten already. So they have to get to the store, get processed, get put out there. And a lot of times they're refrigerated. So they're picked really early and they don't have the same chemical properties as tree ripened fruit. So it's always great to go outside. We have a mango tree in the backyard, which is great. But it's only for a couple weeks in maybe June. You go and you get tons of mangoes. You have like piles of mangoes, and then it's done. So those are tree ripened fruit, and tree ripened mangoes, there's nothing like it. You won't taste anything in the world like tree ripened fruit, no matter where you are. If it's ripe, that means it's ready to be consumed. The tree wants you to eat it, and then you drop the seed, and then it can grow more tree babies. You just don't want to eat the seeds. You don't want to be eating fruit before it's ripe, because the tree doesn't want you to eat it before it's ready, because then the seed's not ready and it's not going to grow more plant babies when you either an animal eats it and poops it out, or you drop it on the ground as a human. That's why fruit tastes like shit when it's picked early. And that's why most fruit in stores, especially when it's out of season, tastes like shit because they're artificially ripened or they're just picked way too early. So that's why I like frozen fruit, because it's ripened. It's picked when it's ripe and then it's cut up and frozen. So it's already ripe. So you get much higher quality, and plus it's cleaned and all that kind of stuff. So you get much more quality fruit, more consistently from frozen fruit. Plus I like frozen fruit, and plus it's hot as shit out here. So it's nice to get like some frozen mango or pineapple or berries. But berries are great. Berries are lower glycemic and much better for the gut and for your health. So my personal ones, I'm just going to tell you what I eat. So some fruits are going to cause people problems. Like a lot of people have issues with apples. A lot of people have issues with certain fruits. You have to see what works best for you. But personally, my go-tos are mangoes, pineapple, like strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries. That pretty much sums it up. I like jackfruit and stuff like that. I didn't have watermelon this year. I used to eat so much watermelon. You have like the watermelon shits. You just like shit out fucking like red, like just the pulp. Too much information? Too much? Too much?
How shall we fuck off, oh Lord?
Watermelon poops.
Make me happy.
All right, here. Bum, 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 bum. All right, let's see. Oh, my whole life is a booger bubble. All right, we'll take one or two more. When did you start, Papa Swole, when did you discover or start eating grass-fed? When? I'm trying to think. I would say like 10 years ago. What year is it? Almost 2022, 2012, something like that. 10 years ago, something like that. Now, at the same time, I wasn't eating everything else as well as I am now. I was still eating like Sour Patch Kids and candy, and I wasn't being as tight with everything else. But in terms of my main protein sources, probably like 8 to 10 years ago, I have to actually like think hard about it. So something like that. But there were other aspects of my health that were lagging behind, even though I was still doing well, right? I still look good. But when I look back on pictures and stuff, I just had much more inflammation than even I knew at the time. You always think you're in a better situation than you actually are. And you look back and you're thinking, what the fuck? Whether it's a relationship, whether it's nutrition, whether it's training, you're thinking, how could I have ever done that? Why did I ever do it like that? It's because you live and you learn and you try new things and you recognize where you're at and where you used to be, and just they don't compare. So a lot of people might think that, oh, I eat grass-fed beef, but they're also eating tons of grains, or they're getting other seed oils, or they're not getting sleep. And then there are other areas of their life that they're trashing. So it's not like grass-fed beef will just fix all the problems. You have to be vigilant in trying to create an evolutionary type of life around you. You have to really customize your environment. And that's why pillar number 1 of the 7 pillars is community. It's your environment. It's the people, but it's also the food. It's also the things. It's everything that you surround yourself with. And our environment is completely artificial. It's completely artificial, from the light all the way down to oftentimes our circadian rhythms. It's the food. It's what's in the food. That's why you want to make your own food and cook your own food. Put your own shit in. You want to use natural ingredients, which is like, that's why I cook with beef tallow. If you have a steak, you would cook with the fat of the fucking animal. Even if it is bacon fat, like you're still using the fat of the animal. You're not using these artificial, highly processed oils. Oh yeah, I also have raw honey. Raw honey and also dates are great. Pound cake 123. Do I eat seafood? Rarely. I do like scallops and I like salmon and stuff, but we don't have it often. Sometimes we'll have sushi and I'll eat sashimi. I'll eat the raw fish, but it's probably not wild caught and all that stuff, but it's on occasion. And usually what we do is I usually cook a couple steaks in advance. So I have like cold steak. So Mama Swole, we go and we pick up sushi, and then we have like the raw sushi, and then she'll chop up the steak for me. So I'm actually having cold steak. Because if I eat sashimi, I'll just eat tons and tons. I like oysters too, raw oysters. But we'll have tons and tons I just won't feel full. So if I have a steak and sashimi, it's like, okay. Then it actually satisfies me. I just feel like a couple trays of sashimi is just an appetizer. I just don't feel satisfied with it. I don't feel satisfied unless I have beef in tallow. I just don't feel like I'm full. I don't feel like I ate. I don't feel like I fueled up. It's like I could eat all this other stuff. Okay, cool. But I didn't get my nutrition in yet. All right. Excellent. 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 Good fucking questions today, fam. Good fucking questions. There you go. Let's see. Rob Thomas. I can't afford ribeye. Yeah, ribeyes, like I said, before, I mean, ribeyes, you have more expensive cuts, but you can still get fattier. You can get the grass-fed ground beef and cook it in beef tallow so you get more fat. You see what I'm saying? So there's hacks. There's hacks to get around it. There's hacks to get through it. You can just add more fat. And sometimes at a local butcher or grass-fed beef, you can get a higher percentage. You don't want to get 93%, 93.7. You can get different kinds of cuts. I need that YouTube money. Yeah, I would love YouTube money too. I get paid absolute dick shit from YouTube. I don't know if anyone knew that, but my content doesn't pull in views on YouTube. I don't get fucking YouTube revenue for shit. They don't run ads. Everything's flagged for ads. I feel like I know for a fact other channels that have the subscriber count make like some serious bank. I have never made like anything really. I've never seen that kind of side of YouTube. I've never seen like, oh wow, making YouTube. Never have. Never fucking ever. There was like one period that like, oh, they ran ads for a little bit and then they just fucking locked shit down and I got paid nothing. In comparison, I know other channels that have 100,000 subscribers or this, they're just raking it in. Nope. Nope. Fucking nope. Let's take one more question. It's a good one. Lambrix Gere. Papa Swolio, what supplements can help me get bigger? I would say 0 if you're not getting in the nutrition that you need. Now, let me expand on that. No supplement is going to replace proper sleep, proper caloric value and nutrient density. Getting in for example, grass-fed, nothing's going to replace whole foods, okay? So in terms of getting extra supplements, if you're not getting in organ meats, get a grass-fed beef organ supplement. That would be fantastic. You can supplement with creatine. Just a regular creatine monohydrate is plenty, and that can be beneficial if you're not getting enough beef, but it's hard to get the same amount of creatine from beef and such like that. Some people can be beneficial from, for example, in terms of helping you get bigger, nothing's going to help you get bigger except for, enough protein and caloric surplus and training hard and sleeping properly. But things like glutamine can be beneficial, very beneficial for a leaky gut as well. So repairing your gut, making sure absorbing nutrients properly. Bone broth will help nutrient absorption as well and help leaky gut. Let's see. Yeah, aside from that, it's just calorie density. Nutrient density, not calorie density, nutrient density. Quality over quantity. So in terms of supplements helping you get bigger, it depends on how you're using them. You still need to be getting enough calories. You're not going to be able to take anything that's going to be like, whoa, this will help me get bigger, unless you're taking some kind of anabolic, which still requires enough protein for muscle synthesis and things of that sort. All right. Fan-fucking-tastic. Good shit. Good shit. More America. All right, we got some Swole variant to give away. A reminder, fam, that tomorrow we have our weekly accountability meeting, and that is going to be, like I said, by 12 noon Eastern time. Might be actually a little bit earlier tomorrow, but I'll text you later. We might move that a little bit earlier. It might be like 11 o'clock, so just stay tuned for that. Either way, I will let you know today, and also I will be letting you know tomorrow as well. Of course, you'll get a message before the live stream, so plan for that. It's going to be a great accountability meeting. We're going to have some great announcements, and definitely don't want to miss that because it's kind of like a little mini Back to Swole. I'm telling you, it's like a mini Back to Swole. It's legit. It's legit. It's like a legit mini Back to Swole because, in my opinion, we have some major directions and major new things that I'm just going to keep on talking it up because it's going to be fucking awesome. Super, super fucking sweet. So be ready for that tomorrow, accountability meeting. And like I said, you'll get a message beforehand anyway, when we go live, and most of the shows we're pushing earlier. So That is going to be awesome for those of you that can't catch it live, catch it later, and everything's just getting more and more efficient. And it's going to be fucking sweet. Excited for tomorrow. Let's give us away the Swole card. If you want to join the fam today, get started for less than $5. Check it out, swolenormousx.com, and all the memberships. Super fucking awesome. We are going to get infected tomorrow. Am I right, bitches? Am I right? All right, let's give away the Swole variant card, and you're gonna have an amazing day and make a sick fucking gains. Make a sick fucking gains. Get a sick fucking pump on, I should say. Yeah, cooking coconut oil. We got a winner. We got a winner today, Alexandra Thomas. Congratulations! Hashtag Swole variant. Very nice, Falcon. Very nice, Falcon. Very nice. Very nice. And capitalized, too. Very nice. Congratulations, Alexandra. Swole variant winner. Excellent. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 1960 dose in the subject and your mailing address in the body of the fucking email. You're very welcome. Very welcome. Congratulations. Nicely done, Falcon.
Come on, man.
No, Joe, you didn't win. No, you didn't win. Why would you win today's Swole card? I don't get it. I just don't get it. All right, let's nut this beesh. Fam, make sure you hit that like button. If you haven't yet left a review on Apple Podcasts, please do so and share with your friends. Check the show notes and the description, no matter where you're watching this, for all the links, swolenormousx.com. Download your copy of the 7 Pillars. Like I said, join the fam and check out everything else we got to offer over there down below, swolenormousx.com, all that good shit. Fam, tomorrow, accountability meeting. I'll see you there. Let's nut this beesh. Falcon, do it. I said do it, Falcon. Yes, do it. You, now. Yes. Very nice.
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
I'd be the luckiest guy alive if that did it for me.
My name's Forrest Gump.
What are you looking at, butthead?
Oh, jamming on that man piano. One hand. I'm going to smash upper body today, beaches. Front and back titties. Check the wind. Fucking nailed it. Oh, come on. It was good. It was good. It was good.
I gave it a 10. A 10. A fucking 10.
Bring it back around.
I got hairy legs.
Oh, we know. We know about your hairy legs.
And look at her. She looks like she's 19 years old, sitting there like a little lady in a lace front.
The attacks on me, quite frankly, are attacks
on fire!
science.
The more you hate me, the more you will learn.
Mr. Strickland.
I am the danger.
I know her hair is stuck out a little bit. I know it's out. I know. That's fucking bullshit. I'll get it later, Falcon. I'll get it. I see it's out. I know, I'll fix it. Oh, come on, man. I'll fix it. Get a little cock piano. Very nice, fam-wise. We will see you tomorrow for the accountability meeting, 1963. If you're not yet a member, you'll be missing out on, I'm sorry, wrong little underscore. You'll be missing tomorrow's episode. So, well, don't miss it because we have awesome Swole fan posts like I do every single week. We have awesome releases. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss it tomorrow. Accountability meeting. Join now, swolenormousx.com, and we'll see you there. Peace, McGeese. Deuce, Magoose. Ya boy, Papa Swolio. Oh. Out.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808 had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock's crashing. Like an IPO trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I gift rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like
Then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in a fanny pack, couple hundred in a Louis bag.
that's a bed that you made, that's a bed that you made, that's a bed that you laid, that's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, yeah. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. On topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits. I'm in my element. No,